West War Room Rivals is sponsored by Emporia State Federal Credit Union. Learn more at esfcu.com. Text or call the number 620-342-2336 to get started today. ESFCU is the Shovix banking of choice, federally insured by the NCUA. This episode of West War Room Rivals is brought to you by JBW Solutions Industrial Safety Services, your remote safety partner no matter where work takes you. From the job site to the office, JBW Solutions brings OSHA 10 and 30 training, plus a full lineup of compliance services straight to your screen. Whether you're a small crew or a major operation, they make safety simple, accessible, and effective. Visit jbwsolutionsllc.com to learn more today and stay compliant wherever you are. West War Room Rivals is sponsored by Field Ops. Kansas sports fields just got an upgrade with Field Ops. Looking to reserve top quality sports fields in Kansas? Whether you're organizing youth tournaments, adult leagues, or weekend pickup games, Field Ops is your go-to platform for discovering and booking the best athletic fields across the state. Instant online reservations, detailed field info such as locations, amenities, and photos. Field Ops is also trusted by coaches, organizers, and athletes. From Wichita to Overland Park, Field Ops has got you covered with real-time availability and streamlined scheduling. Get in the game at gofieldops.com/Kansas-KS. That's gofieldops.com/Kansas-KS. What is going on, everybody? This is West War Room Rivals. I am your host, Cody, and I've got my brothers in arms right on the screen with me. We have the one and only Eric Warfield on today, but before we get started, we're going to do a quick roll call. Shovix, kick us off.
Thanks, Cody. I am Austin, representing Red Kingdom.
And I'm Corey, representing Broncos Country.
Matt.
And I'm Matt, also representing Broncos Country.
And this is Cody representing Raider Nation. Like we said, this episode is sponsored by jbwsolutionsllc.com. Go visit them for all your safety compliances, as well as Field Ops/Kansas and Emporia State Federal Credit Union. Please go visit all of our partners to help support the War Room. Fellas, we got another big one today. If anyone missed last night's episode, we had the one and only Matt Prater on. Phenomenal. We have another AFC West legend on today. This gentleman here, Mr. Eric Warfield, is a three-time national champion with the Nebraska Cornhuskers. He was drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs in 1998 in the 7th round, and he is tonight our guest. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Eric Warfield. How you doing, sir?
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Man, we are so humbled.
So
all right, awesome. We are so humbled to have you on. Thank you for sharing your time with us.
Thank you. I see that we got some Broncos and Raiders in the house, so hopefully we get some friendly fire in here.
Oh yeah.
Always.
Well, we have a divisional question later on down the show, and so far a certain team has the upper hand amongst other ones. I'm sure you can guess what that is, but we're going to start with your college career first, though. You played obviously in a powerhouse in Nebraska back in the 90s. So tell us what that was like to be a part of that Nebraska Cornhusker culture, and what did that do for you in your career in college?
You know, it was a ton of fun, and to look back upon the things that we did during that little 4-year stretch that we had, and probably could have had a fourth. But that was a new entry of Scott Frost coming into the team and having, I think it was his first road game that we had with him, and it's totally not blaming Scott at all. Just saying we have a new quarterback coming into the team after Tommy had such a great run and walked off to the sunset with a big victory against Florida in the bowl game, and then having Scott come in. And the first few games started out beautiful. We thought that the team was just all set, would just take off right away the way we ended it. And so, but both offense and defense, we just had some fumbles out there that, you know, kind of knocked us off track and ended up with a loss that game early in the season. But we rebounded and thought that we still had a chance to go in for a national championship, but ended up losing to a great friend of mine, Priest Holmes, in the Big 12 championship.
Yeah.
ran all over us and took that natty out of our belt. So we had a chance, but we blew it. But ended up taking 3 of those was awesome.
Yeah,
Hell
I
of a
mean,
career.
yeah, it's 3 more natties than a lot of people will ever have. So that's pretty. Especially Nebraska was a powerhouse in the '90s. Everyone knows it. Like the walk-on program they had there, everything was amazing. So
Yeah, it's just hard at this point, but since then we haven't found a way to get back to those high-end bowl games, national championship games. So for whatever reason, we haven't, and that's the collective thing with the organization and the students. And I love every athlete that's come through the program.
yeah,
But after seeing everything that comes through, the things that we did back in our days aren't what we've seen come through after that. So
Right.
again, I don't want to take away from the kids that what they've done and what they're continuing to do, but it's just I think everybody would love to see Nebraska become a powerhouse again, and it's just two decades passed, and so it's like even the kids coming down, they weren't even born to see
Right.
what
they
we
have
did
no
during
idea.
our time. So yeah, so
Right.
it's not like they can see and try to duplicate what we did. It's just we're just hoping that we can just find a way to get back on track and be really competitive again.
Yeah. And so with that, obviously being recruited by Nebraska at that time kind of had to be a surreal moment. So what was the recruiting process like for you at that time?
It was fun. I had a ton, or I would say just any college across the board. I think I could have had an option to go to school at, and Coach Osborne made the best connection with my mom. Both are very, I don't want to say religious, but spiritual in their own ways, to the point to where the connection was, she knew that she was sending her son to a place with a guy that had her son in his best interest in her son. So we've had, I guess you can talk about the money that was kind of trying to go under the tables back then, but there's a few schools that are trying to pay under the table to sign with them. But my mom was like, she thought the best thing to do was me to go to Nebraska. So it turns out it was.
So, with the game changing now, not so much as like rules and everything, but now the NIL is getting involved. What are your thoughts on the NIL in today's college games?
I mean, I would love it if we had it back then. Obviously, it wasn't around. I love what the kids I wouldn't say with the kids, but what I guess in somewhat we built to where they are now, and that they're able to receive money based on their like and image. But there's so much that's different than what we had. There's no social media, and there was still big money that was offered to the programs. But as for us as kids or student athletes, we just had to struggle through the scholarships that we had. So I love the idea of the kids having the opportunity to be able to start at that young of an age, and hopefully with the way it goes, a lot of those kids aren't going to make it into the pros. And so they can use that whatever money that they earn through their like and image to go into whatever occupation outside of football to be a great start into the real world. So, I mean, I love it. I mean, I think it's somewhat getting out of hand with the amount that they're paying certain kids. But if the schools can afford it, I guess that's what they did.
All right. So some of the best rivalries happen with the Nebraska group, right? Like Nebraska, Colorado, Nebraska, Oklahoma. Do you have a favorite one?
The talk was more about Colorado back then. I know the bigger scale was more so us in Oklahoma. But for the years that I was there, we didn't have any teams that were close to beating us, and so it's like within our division. So it was like a cakewalk to go and beat to play all those teams. But yeah, we knew that playing Oklahoma was, prime time.
Yeah.
Playing Colorado was the Detmer boys. That was prime time. But again, those games were, score-wise out of control once we started. So, and again, to look back upon that and then to see all the success that we had, it's just phenomenal to see what Coach Osborne created and how he got the best out of all those kids and his coaches.
So I think, and our mom's a huge Oklahoma fan, and I hope she's watching because I love absolutely seeing Oklahoma get destroyed all the time. So,
All the time.
But she's also a huge Chiefs fan, and she's also a huge fan of yours. So hopefully she's watching, and I hope you realize Nebraska did own Oklahoma at one point.
Yes.
So I just wanted to say that. I think you had
Oklahoma's done a good job of staying up there, though. Like they're either football or basketball. Their sports program, they've done a great job of staying in the midst of things. So, even with Iowa teams have done a lot better than what we've done. So, it's just tough, man, to sit back and see the things that you did during your career and to see like how the program has fallen off so bad. We got Raiola now, and he stepped in as a true freshman and put up some pretty good games and good numbers for us. And so hopefully this second year, this could be a comeback of the Big Red team. I hope, fingers crossed.
And before I ask my follow-up, I do just want to point out we do have Mama Shovik in the comments. She just wants to give a shout out to you, Mr. Warfield. Love watching you play. But I think she said boomer. So
hey, I can't be mad at it. They got the upper hand.
Yeah. Shout out to Mama Shovik for watching. Thank you. But my follow-up for you for Nebraska, more or less, is, obviously you went there for football, and it sounds like your mother had the right intentions, and it worked out. 3 national championships. So at your time at Nebraska, what did you learn that helped shape you to be either a player or a better person? Like, can you recall any experiences that you clung to that you still use to today from that experience?
More so the family and camaraderie that we had there. And to this day, it basically started with Nebraska and it continues with the Chiefs guys also. So we have big group chats of Nebraska and Chief groups that we keep in touch with those guys. And, whether they're doing phenomenal, like as far as, Jared, buddy of mine, teammate of mine that just went into the Hall of Fame last weekend or last week.
Yep.
Some guys that aren't doing well. And it's good to have those group chats so that you can keep in touch and those guys can know that they have support from whatever they're going through, whether good or bad. So, and heck, we just had a close friend from Nebraska that passed away from cancer. And so it's like, you get to, you hate to see someone at that age, pass away so young. But for the last few years, we've been right beside him in his journey to try to fight this cancer that is, just took his life. But for the previous years going through it, he didn't have to go through it himself.
Yeah. So that just like real brotherhood, right?
Yes.
And I just want to say, like, I'm a cancer survivor. So like you telling that story, truly appreciate it. Stories like that, hearing the support you give and just being there with someone, like that's kind of what we're about here. Like, yes, we love talking to favorite players, former players and stuff, but we like making differences, and like mine specifically, cancer, charities and stuff like that. So I really appreciate you sharing that story with us.
Yeah, it's a thing that's taken a lot of lives, and we don't have a real answer for it. It sucks, and we try to help as much as we can and support as much as we can within our group. So I commend you for you going through it and being a survivor also.
Really appreciate you sharing that, though. I know it's
Absolutely.
To be vulnerable like that, to share an experience, especially one that you witnessed with a friend. I know it's tough to lose one. So really appreciate you sharing, and sorry that your friend isn't here, but I know that he had a great person to rely on in you, and we really appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm at a loss of words for it. And again, yeah, like Cody said, thank you for sharing that, especially with 4 strangers who you never met, and with our viewers as well. So
Yeah.
It takes a lot. Gonna get away from the sadness real quick and get back to college. So you had a pretty prolific career while you were at Nebraska. At what point did you realize the NFL could be a possibility for you?
So to be honest, that's the crazy part is I didn't even think I had a chance. And with that team, I thought I was probably even as a starter, I was probably the 25th to 30th best player on the team. So, but we had just so much talent there, and to see how it operated and the, from the offensive line, I think all those guys were drafted, and all of our running backs have played in the league. I think the players that probably didn't really get the opportunity was the receivers, because we don't throw with the ball a lot, and that's not what our quarterbacks did back in our days. So Scott was a hell of an athlete, and he even had an opportunity to go play. And I think they had to move him to a different position. The same thing they were going to do with Eric Crouch. And it was, it was unfortunate that Tommy Frazier had his blood clots that kept him from being able to play in the NFL. So we just had some gifted guys that went out and showed that what pure talent and pure athletes were. So I loved it every day of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of transition to your NFL career, but Austin Corey, did you guys want to ask your follow-up?
Yeah, I do real quick. Sticking with the Nebraska thing real quick. So, you get the chance to see, and it's a unique offense of how a lot of college teams ran back then. Like, what's that like practicing against something like that when as a defensive back, they're not looking to throw that often, but you still have to practice and you still have to make sure that you're ready going in for your opponent?
It was a dog fight every week. And, this is what's funny. I think that our best competition was practice.
Oh, yeah.
We had to go up against our offense. I think we were probably top 3 in the country. I want to say our defense was probably top 5, top 10 in the country. So going up against each other is like, if we can stop our offense, then we can pretty much stop any other team that we play. And our offense was, if they're going to score on us, then they're going to pretty much score on anybody else. So it's like having those weekly headbutts made those teams it was tough to beat anybody else.
So kind of like the iron sharpens iron, right? Kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, Austin, it's funny you say that. So Austin and I's favorite player, and I think collectively on the screen, our favorite basketball player is Kobe Bryant. And he had a great interview, I think, where he said, if your practices aren't more competitive in the games, you're not doing it right. And I think you speaking to that just kind of confirms all that as well.
That is
Absolutely.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. Now, what's funny was that, I would say funny, but back in those days, you never really took your pads off. And so I guess to try to protect the players nowadays and give them more longevity towards their career and avoid more of the collisions from the concussion stuff.
Right.
You basically go out for probably 2 periods of full contact, and after that they wear shells.
Yeah.
Yep.
So after the shells, they have the padded helmets and all this. So it's like it's not what it used to be, and I like it, but it's just different to watch.
Right.
Even with a lot of the calls that you get on when you're watching the games, we got guys that are in the Hall of Fame because they used to go and try to take somebody's head off. Like, I mean, you guys, especially from the Raiders, Tatum and a lot of those guys would come and try to take your head off. But that's you can't play that way now. So you got to try to. I won't say dumb it down, but you got to try to play within the rules of the games to where you can still make big hits. Right. But it's got to be a small window now. You don't have a full body that you can contact the person with. So
yeah. You look at a Hall of Famer like Ed Reed, who made his career off of making big hits like that. Now, granted, he was a great player all around, but I mean, the hits that he would do back then and that time also like wouldn't even be allowed in today's football. And And I think we had this conversation with Quentin Jammer and Derek Blaylock, and it's not to say that football is bad. It's just it had to evolve for safety reasons, thankfully for safety. But we can tell that the physicality just isn't there because the practices, they're different. What safety is at the forefront, which is great. But to like your credit and your point is, it changing that means it changes the mindset a little bit and changes maybe the toughness of it in some sense, but it's also not what it was during the time that you played, which was arguably the harder time because you have these fast athletes without the safety stuff and you guys are just colliding. And, now today's football just isn't doing that anymore.
We had, what was it, ESPN, big hits
Mm-hmm.
that we used to celebrate.
Yeah,
we used to celebrate those. And so now it's like it's frowned upon. It's like, oh, you're a dirty player if you hit somebody like that. But I mean, it's a brutal sport. That's what we learned. The game was learned that way.
Right. One of my favorite players watching, other than Ed Reed, was Bob Sanders from the Colts. Yeah, and granted, he didn't have a long career, unfortunately, but when he was on the field, he made a difference for the Colts because of the way he played and that toughness. Like it goes throughout the defense.
Yeah.
Even offensively, I remember Hines Ward got mad at something. It was that battle between the Ravens and the Steelers, and Hines Ward was mad, and he just completely leveled Ed Reed, and that's not an easy feature to do.
Yeah,
and that's the game we all grew up with.
True.
Yeah, I remember just watching videos of Brian Dawkins' big hits. Remember watching the video of Sean Taylor just laying a punter out at a Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So if they're going to show you like the best, go to the Hall of Fame, and if they show you the highlights of all those safeties, you're going to see all just big hits. It's not just probably Ed Reed is going to have the most spectacular plays with the interceptions and kickoff returns and stuff like that.
Right.
But for the most part, all those other guys are in for big hits. Ronnie Lott, he's just trying to take your head off anything he does. So Palomalu and all those other guys, they just want to knock you out.
Right.
So the fear of crossing the middle as a receiver is not there anymore.
Right.
We can run across the middle and not be concerned about that big hit. We can catch that slant and not be concerned about that safety coming downhill and knock me out.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then you're going to get one of those because it's like it's hard for some of those guys to pass up. If I see a guy running dead at me, I have to do what my team is wanting me to do, and that's to stop his progression or dislodge the ball or put him down. Now it's just unfortunate that this hit is going to be one of my highlight reels. And my highlight reel is going to be now considered a fine by the NFL and probably an ejection. So,
we talk about that a lot where we kind of wish there was a middle ground, right? We never want to say trying to get things safer is a bad thing, right? Like we get that, but kind of wish there was more of a middle ground because for myself, I love the physicality. I love physical corners. I love trench play. I just want to me, that's what football is. Now, I'm not saying today sucks. It is different, but that's kind of why we got together. We kind of missed the old rivalries, right? Like, man, we're playing the Broncos, we're playing the Raiders, like some smash mouth football, some heat was about to happen. So I just wish there was a better middle ground where we could concern ourselves with safety, but not do away with those, what you call highlight plays.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so much money that's come to this game, man. I won't say just this game, just sports in general, but especially with football, it's just so much money involved to where it's like, the rules that they've put forward towards the quarterback, that's mostly because of Tom Brady. We get that.
Yeah.
Probably the best quarterback to ever play the game, which we've all would agree with, I would hope.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, throughout his little, I wouldn't say little, but his career, the guy's made some phenomenal plays, and yet he stirred up a lot of mess that, it's like, are you seriously going to throw a flag because this guy's hand hit a helmet?
Right.
Because he was
how dare you
down. Yeah, I know. It wasn't like, what are the rollover now? You can't like sling him to the ground. Like,
and I've seen some that try to sack and have the arms up, and even still they're like, well, you can stop your weight. And he goes, wait, I can't use my hands to wrap and drive, but I can lift my hands and also catch myself to the ground and not be penalized. Where's the fine line? And I think we can all agree there's been a lot of questionable roughing the passer calls when it's like, that was so incidental. It's like that wouldn't have been called even just a few years ago. And now it's like you touch them, here's the flag coming,
Right.
You should be watching the game. I'll see a quarterback get hit, and they're like, "Is that rough in the pack?" And my first instinct was like, "Nah, man, that was a good football hit." And then they go to the field, and there's 37 yellow flags on the play, and I'm like, "Oh,
I know." I guess it is unfortunate the stuff that Tua's going through.
Right.
And it started with a bad hit from the start. He just hasn't recovered. And I hate to see him take another hit because I don't know if that's going to ruin the rest of his career. But
right.
So, but that's a part of those hits. Like that's what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Who was the defensive coordinator? I think it was for the Saints.
Greg Williams.
Greg Williams.
Yeah.
And was it
Bountygate? I think.
Bountygate.
Yeah, Bountygate.
Hate to say it. I hate to say it, but it was. We always wanted to try to take the quarterback out. That's the best player on the team. You take him out, you got a great chance to win. Now you don't want to do anything dirty, but if you can go get a good hit on the quarterback and he's out, then who doesn't want that as a defensive coordinator or defensive player? So,
and I think it also goes to like just certain. It's simple as like, listen, you inflict your will. You intimidate them in some sense. Like they're going to think twice before running that or going and doing this particular play because they're afraid of the consequences that come from it. And it's for us to think that we're naive enough to not assume that behind the scenes, there is some, not incentive, but like motivation to like make the best play for your team. And you're not going out willfully trying to injure somebody, but you're going to make a difference in the game that's positive for your team. To think that we're naive to not think that that's part of the game. That's what we're hoping for as respective fans. Like that's where I think Bountygate was a little questionable. Like, wait a minute. So they're incentivized to make plays that benefit their team. I'm not sure where I see the penalty. Now the dirty play stuff, that's fine. I get that. But to go out there and to inflict your will to stop a player from feeling confident enough to run the ball, catch the ball or whatever, that's the defense's job. I don't know what else they're supposed to do,
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Man, I don't know how to go into detail, but yeah, I agree. Everything you just said is it's a brutal sport,
right?
It is.
And we learned as kids, you got to run almost fast, full speed, head to head, and see if you knock who knocks who out.
Right.
But that's how we learned, and but now it's changed. It's more it's finesse, and you got to protect the offense and to protect the money.
Right.
Yep.
If somebody gets hurt, you have. It's like families want to come out to see a Justin Jefferson when we come to Minnesota, and he can't play because he's been knocked out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, we paid X amount of dollars to make this trip happen, and now it's like our favorite player is out. But it's a brutal sport. Like, I mean,
if his quarterback didn't lead the throw too much to where it left him open, maybe that's a different, different outcome.
Yeah. Speaking of the differences, though, I know one question I asked Quentin Jammer, and I'm curious to get your thought. Back when you guys played, you could get physical with receivers at the line, put your hands on them. How do you think you would do today without being able to really be physical with receivers at the line? Like you let them just get a free release. How do you think you would handle that?
It's tough. Nowadays, there's so much movement within the offense because they're going to make sure that whoever the X receiver is, we're going to put you in motion to make sure that our guy can't get you at the line of scrimmage. We want to know if it's man-to-man, if it's a zone.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't go with you, then we got a zone. If he goes with you, we got man-to-man. So now we know what we're working with.
Mm-hmm.
But their offenses are so spread out now and easily, got so many ways of putting up points to where it's so hard unless that front seven is just a dog out there and just killing the quarterback.
We just talked about the Eagles in the Super Bowl, right? That's kind of what you're saying. Unfortunately.
Basically. So yeah, it's tough. And the receivers nowadays, they are speedy. Like these guys here, I enjoy watching the top few guys that are out there. Jefferson, Chase, Even Tariq Hill, I think he's still a top guy.
Oh yeah.
Who else we have? CD Lamb.
CD,
I like
My-
Pickens too. I just
Yeah.
he's just a troublemaker. But heck, the guy's phenomenal receiver. So
he is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
think
I
that
always
we had
throw
the
out
chance.
I always throw out Mike Evans because I feel like he gets left
Mike
out.
is the dog. Mike, he's just one of those year in, year out. He's going to give you great numbers. He's giving you his production. So yeah.
I think his only year where he didn't get 1,000 yards was in high school.
Yeah, exactly. So he is first ballot.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I love hearing you say that because I feel like he doesn't and hasn't gotten the love that he should for his consistent. Think about all the quarterbacks though too. Like he had a couple years with Tom, but other than that, it's been a carousel there. But he's been consistent. He's physical. Man, I just want to make sure we get Mike Evans some love when we were talking.
Oh, you have to. Yeah, he's
absolutely.
He is a dog.
And then, so as we kind of transition to Chiefs Kingdom days, we loved asking Quentin Jammer kind of his take on, because you guys played against some really good receivers in your guys' time in that era. Who was your favorite to match up against?
In Kansas City?
Yep.
So I'm going to say the hardest was the guard would be Dante Hall.
Okay.
Mainly because he's so small and he's so quick. Now, with all the intermediate routes, Dante is probably going to beat us.
Mm-hmm.
He's not gonna beat me on a deep route, no post, no corners. But yeah, the intermediate routes, he is just so shifty. He's so quick, and the height, it makes it hard to get hands on to, and just his movement alone makes it easy for him to get. And that's what the guys that in the slot, Wells Welkers. I'll even I know he's not a slot guy. Amon Roy, that was how do you say his name?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown at Detroit. Very shifty. Put him in the slot, and those guys are so hard to guard. So yeah, but for us in Kansas City, Dante would be that guy.
Yeah, and then overall in the NFL, in a matchup, in the AFC West or just in the NFL in general, who was one of those guys?
One of my close friends I had the most fun with, and it was pretty tough to we had some good battles though. That would be Rod Smith and the Broncos.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
my dad's watching this show. He's a big Rod Smith fan, so I'm sure he's happy about that one.
Yeah, that's my hometown buddy there.
What was so difficult about when you had to cover him?
So Rod has he has like a step back. And most receivers have to try to get up the field quick.
Right.
I'm a big corner, long arms, and so I have to get hands on a guy majority of the time. And, I'm a 4-4 guy most of the time. And a lot of those guys are 4-2, 4-3. So if I don't get hands on the line of scrimmage, I'm struggling throughout the day. But Rod, big guy, big receiver. And he knew that when I'm coming to play him, I'm coming for an extension. I'm putting hands out. But he has a step back, and it's like when he gets that step back, he has a wiggle with it, and he gets up the field quick with it. So he was just a great route runner and doesn't miss once the ball's in his vicinity. So he's not going to miss anything.
Yeah.
Man, that Rod Smith, throw back to some, I don't want to say good days because that was Broncos, but y'all did have some dogs back then. I love hearing some of these names and just having a little flashback, right? Like, man, haven't heard that name in a bit, but now I'm just thinking of all his highlights.
Right.
Yeah, I think my first interception was on McCaffrey, though, so that was a big highlight. But it wasn't Elway. They had Bubby Brister in at that point.
Oh.
Bubby Brister,
Now there's a name.
There's a name.
There's a name.
Yeah, so... And we all know Arrowhead is the loudest stadium in the NFL. I don't know why Seattle tries to claim it. We're legitimately in the record books, but that's another conversation. But so Arrowhead's the loudest stadium, and you were obviously on the field when the crowd's the loudest, right? When the opposing offense is on the field. What is Arrowhead like when you were on the field and just getting up to a gazillion just decibels there?
I thought it was phenomenal. Just obviously you have the support of your fans.
Yeah.
Our field was always taken care of. A lot of the courses, not courses, but places that you play at weren't the greatest. When we play in San Diego and in Oakland, you're playing on a baseball field.
Baseball. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so those suck.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Heard that before.
horrible. Granted, Denver's a great field, but that altitude, like it is so hard to breathe out there. So we hate going to Denver.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to. Well, I am 49 years old, so it does make me old. But I was Seattle was in our division at that point.
Right.
Yep.
I remember this. Yeah.
We hated going there because we go at the end of the season. It's like the weather is
It's
crap.
freezing. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, I think to myself, like, even now, like, for some of these crappy city teams, Seattle, Buffalo, New York Jets, Green Bay, Baltimore, with the amount of money that the team owners have, and you get, I think the city has to pay for half of it.
Yeah.
Won't you make them a dome or a retractable roof? I mean, I say the same thing about Kansas City. Like, why not make it a retractable roof? But our fans won't allow it. They like what we have. So, and I know Green Bay, they're so stuck on their stadium and thinking it's gives them an advantage. But you've only won how many Super Bowls in the last 30 years with this same stadium? So
Just
it can't be.
I think a single one. I think the last one was Aaron Rodgers.
So we played 2 years ago. Miami came to Kansas City. We had a ton of people to end up with frostbite.
Right.
Some kids weren't, can't really let your kids go there. So why not make it someplace nice? I can sit in a t-shirt and yell. And if the weather's nice, I can open the roof. I can retract the roof.
Right.
If it's lightning, we can close it up. If it was nice, we can, I don't know. At some point, you might want to host a Super Bowl, but if the weather's crappy, you can't. If the dome's not permissible. So I just think that every team that's in these crappy cities, I want to call them crappy cities, but like where the weather gets
really, really gnarly during the Super Bowl time. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's why I want the Chiefs to get a root. And obviously I'm going to be a homer, but like Arrowhead deserves a damn Super Bowl on that field and that stadium. Like, you say what you want, you can hate the Chiefs. Arrowhead's special. It deserves a Super Bowl there. Like, it's like the Wrigley way of baseball, right? Like, Arrowhead deserves to have host a Super Bowl.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Well, and then what's funny is like, and what's funny is like the Bills now, I think they're building a new stadium and it'll have like a retractable dome or something like that on it. But I think here's the funny thing. We kind of talk about the NFL. They're kind of in a sense like safety, but when it's convenient, because like weather in like ice or snow, they have no problem when Buffalo is in the playoffs and you have, 20 inches of snow that you're asking your fans to volunteer to clear out your stadium and your seats just to get people in there and have the players go on the field and, throw a football around in like -5-degree weather. But, we can't tackle the quarterback for a sack, so I think a lot of it is like, it's entertaining to see those crazy weather games, which is why a dome makes a lot of sense. Too much sense though, because that means people won't turn in if it's a tsunami on the field, because people want to see that kind of wild like weather or atmosphere when it comes to a football game.
And I'm okay if it rains. Like, I mean, the Cowboys here, their roof, they can open it up.
Right.
If it's nasty outside, they can close it. I think we've come so far along in life to where we can create anything that's functional to cover an entire stadium.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be enclosed. I just like the idea of opening it up, when the weather's nice, or closing it when it's crappy outside.
Right. Also, the Cowboys, though, coincidentally put Jerry World where the sun is facing the right side, at kickoff. So, it's a little inconvenient. But transitioning a little bit to, we did have the great Dick Vermeil on last month. We were honored to just even have an hour of his time. He was a phenomenal human being. And I'm curious to know, and I'm sure Austin would love to know, we all would love to know, what's it like to play for a coach like Mr. Vermeil?
So, man, I got two of them.
Okay.
So having Coach Osborne and being the man, coach, father figure that he was, and going into Kansas City, rest his soul, Marty wasn't Coach Vermeil. Marty wasn't Coach Osborne.
Right.
Now, after Marty had gone through for a couple of years,
Yep.
rest his soul also, then Coach Vermeil comes. And then it's like I get this same thing that I had as my coach in Nebraska, and this guy that's my new coach, and Coach Vermeil. And great thing about it is I talk to or at least get a text from those guys every single month, Coach Vermeil and Coach Osborne. And I think they're both at the same age of 86, 87, somewhere around that age. So
Yeah.
phenomenal that they can even keep in touch with little old me after having all the athletes and to come through that they've coached from every level. So, and heck, I don't know who they keep in touch with, how many players they call and text. I just know that I get the call, so I'm very grateful for them.
And I know that when Coach Vermeil was on here, he kept name dropping. Like, you would never guess. I mean, the dude's just full of energy still.
Yes.
Like, he was way more energized than anybody. I mean, I hope to have that kind of energy when I'm that age. But he was just like the memory that he had, literally talking about
It's
players.
immaculate.
Players he's still in a group text with, players, even the coaches. Like, he never took credit himself. It was always his coordinators, the position coaches, the players. He said it was never about him. It was about the team.
Yeah, I don't know what he's got in that wine that he makes, but ever since I met him in Kansas City, first entry as a coach, he looks the same, acts the same, talks the same as I just saw him when I went to his induction in the Hall of Fame. Hasn't changed a bit. So yeah, I might need to grab a bottle of that little wine that he's got to see what.
Got some right here, yeah.
Oh, you guys have some. So you guys have the fountain of youth.
Yeah. Oh, that's the secret. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's funny, we're talking about Vermeil and everything, and every player that has ever, been coached by him, one of the things they always bring up is getting invited at his house. What was it like, the very first time he said, "Hey, Eric, why don't you come on over to my place for dinner?" Like, what was going through your mind when he invited you? Like, has that ever happened before? Or, what was that like?
So he does it every year. He holds the entire team in sections. So he's going to have the DBs go, the linebackers go one week, the defensive line. So it happens every year. Mm-hmm. And it's just special to see that what him and his wife do on a daily basis to run a team and continue being the dad that he's been throughout for his family. Now, as a head coach, you don't get to see your wife that often. I mean, most of your time is at the stadium, and they leave. It's after 10 o'clock. So I think most wives are probably in bed by then. I would hope. So, and then they're usually the first people at the stadium, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So, to go through that type of a living, and for the amount of years that they've done it, and there's it's hard to find great people like that.
Yeah. Getting back onto your NFL career and everything. The last question in this segment, you talked a little bit about like your first pick was against Ed McCaffrey, but is there a particular interception or play like your favorite or that you remember that you can share with us?
So my favorite was growing up. I grew up as a 49ers fan.
Okay.
So big Jerry Rice and Montana fan, and I get to Kansas City and we lost Rich because Rich Gannon was behind Elvis Gerback when I was there. Mm-hmm. So Rich goes over to the Raiders, and then the Raiders get Jerry Rice. I'm like, okay. I lost a good friend, and all of a sudden it's like I'm over here about to guard Jerry Rice, and I was starting corner. And it's like I was kind of shocked and didn't want to move. I didn't want to say hi or like nice to meet you or anything. I just didn't know it. I was froze. Mm-hmm. And first kickoff, Eric Hicks, we do it every single game. He comes by and he kind of noticed. Was like, I was starstruck, to be honest, but before the game when we came out, and Eric comes over, he just grabbed me by my face mask, head butts me, so I'm shaking, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, I'm good. I run down on the kickoff. I got my bearings back. I'm loose. And first play, Rich comes my way, slant. I jump in front of it, take it back for a pick six. And
Okay.
blackout moment. Have no idea what was happening, what was said. But yeah, blackout moment. And that's the highlight of my career. Is the pick six on Rich and Jerry Rice.
That's incredible.
That
is
what's
awesome.
up. Yeah.
That was my favorite time being a Raiders fan, is having that offense. And John Gruden, I think at the time, was still their head coach. Before it was, I think Bill Callahan followed him. But yeah, I remember that time. And I remember every AFC West battle was like, for everything it felt like. And it didn't matter who was in the division, Chargers, Seahawks, Chiefs. It was always a battle in the AFC West. So to lead into the last question before we get into a little bit of a lightning round is, who was your favorite AFC West team to play against?
No, I love the Raiders.
Okay.
It was just so much that came with whether it was the players, whether it was Gruden, or whether it was the fans. Like it was always like excuse my language, it was a shit show.
Yeah.
Every game.
Yeah.
You're gonna get stuff from the fans, from the players, and it's almost like the players have been around the fans for so long that like they would act and imitate the same things that the fans would do. So, But it was fun. It was so much fun playing against them. So I enjoyed all the guys that Alvis with it. Who else was out there? Besides Jerry Rice, Tim Brown. I play golf with Tim, so Tim had no clue that it took Tim a minute to realize that. Yeah, I had a pick on him too. So
nice reminder.
I know.
Yeah.
But those guys were so much fun to play against, and for the careers that they had built at that point before I got there. So,
yeah.
So Raiders Week, it sounds like, was a real thing, huh?
It was. But
okay, awesome.
They aren't as bad as they put themselves out there to be. The fans, like, they dress and look the part, but when you go over there and talk to them, they're just as friendly as that can be. But when you run into the end zone when play game, they talk a little smack. But when you go over there and talk to them, they're just some of the nicest people ever.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Denver's different.
Oh, okay. Speak on it. We got two of them. We need to let them know.
Let's throw some pads at them.
Ever since, so Colorado, we play in Colorado, go out there to play. For some reason, I used to think that Colorado people are just some of the worst people ever. Some of the nastiest people. They would talk so bad about you while you're sitting on the bench. Or if you're on the field by the run on kickoff, they can it's just some of the nastiest people I've ever heard.
Well, I think, it just goes back to the rivalry part of everything, right? Like some of those rivalries, weirdly enough, with Matt Prater last night, I was asking about trash talkers, and he's like, I didn't really pay attention. He's like, I kind of just shook it off. But then you ask like Quentin Jammer, and he's like, oh, people talk. Like you could definitely hear people talk. So I'm kind of curious on who was the best trash talker in your playing days.
Oh, that'd be Randy. Randy was funny with it though.
Ooh, yeah.
What would he say that would kind of throw you off?
So I can't use the twang like him, but he's always like 44. You can't jam me all the time, man. I'm gonna show you. They're not even gonna run my way. And all of a sudden, it's like they're not running his way. So like he would tell you like, don't put your hands on me, 44. Not running this way. It's like, okay.
The impression.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the next play, he doesn't say anything. He's trying to run by you. So I had some good battles against Randy, though. It's like I don't recall him beating me for a touchdown except for the preseason game. Now, my first preseason games, we're staying in the same draft, and the Chiefs had moved me to corner. I've been playing safety my whole career. And I'm like, this dude is tall, this dude is fast,
Yeah.
and he doesn't stop. Like, he won't shut up. So I was like, I want to say 20-yard corner route that he ran, and I think they won the game for the preseason game. So my post-game press conference was like, yeah, I don't feel like I did well. I might get cut just because I gave up this touchdown to Randy Moss and, whatever else. But lo and behold, I made the team and got a nice little 8 years out of it out there.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I always love hearing the trash talk because it's like, I don't know. I love the rivalries, right? And trash talking's part of it. So I love hearing some of those stories. But we're going to kind of transition a little bit to end/post career reflection. We had a chance to talk to you for a couple minutes before we started, and you were talking about golf. But tell us some of your hobbies that you've enjoyed doing since being retired.
A close friend, big fisher, and I've been trying to get into fishing. I would love to go deep sea fishing, but I've been out on those boats just to be out there, but not to fish. And then they don't sit well with my body, so that motion sickness gets me. So, but I still do. I still want to try some deep sea fishing. I've done a little just on the land, taking a rod out and going out, but that's fun. But golf has been my thing, and that's it. We take a lot of golf trips that are fun and something that memorable. So I love spending time with my family. I love doing charity events here and there for the players here out in cowboy land. It kind of sucks being stuck in in the land of the Cowboys, but you're out here doing good God's work for the community, then you don't really mind.
Is there any charities that you want to talk about that maybe hold dear to you or mean a lot to you?
Well, I do every year, and I haven't done the last 2 years. COVID is what made us stop. We'll take 100 kids shopping, and we try to get them a couple of $100 to shop with. And before, we would use student athletes at Nebraska when I was back there coaching. When I was in Kansas City, we'd use the players to shop with the kids, and basically just to get the experience, to have these kids to see where the background of where we came from and to where we've ended up at. Whether we're professional football players, whether we're entrepreneurs in other aspects or occupations, but we just want to give these kids basically give them an opportunity to escape their cultures, thinking that they've been stuck in this culture of like, I see what my community best people or best athletes have turned into. So is this the life that I have to grow into? It's like, no, this is a whole world out there for you. Make the most of it. Your family's struggling for, you can be that one person to help the entire situation get out of that situation. So it's I've been doing that for 20-some years. So yeah, this is the first year we're getting back with it because of COVID and how it kind of shut down everything. So
what's the name of the organization that you partner with to do that, if you don't mind sharing?
So it's not we don't have a partner with anybody. We just go we pick out, go to inner cities, whether it's the shelters, group homes, Boys and Girls Club. We take any kids. And so what we do is just like, we try to get 100 kids from the age of 8 to 17. And we take them eating. We take them eating before they go shopping. Give them a card to shop whatever they want to shop with, and after that, they get to do their shopping with either the student athletes. So now we just do with people that want to come out and help out with it. So it's been a great deal. So we wanted to get it started back up. So we're back on track with it.
That's incredible. When you guys do start that back up, would you mind sharing that info? And we'll be more than happy to promote it on our platforms. That way we get as much audience for you as possible.
I surely will.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's one of our things. We enjoy talking ball, but we also, want to make an impact or have an impact and make a difference. So appreciate that. Always want to do what we can where we can. Even if it's a small platform or whatever, every little bit helps. So appreciate you sharing that with us and look forward to when you guys do that next.
Sweet.
All right. Couple more NFL questions, and then I think we'll get into the lightning round that I prematurely said. But what are the 3 receivers that if you were in today's game, you'd love to match up with?
Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and I'd probably say CD Lamb.
Ooh, very cool.
I love the fact that you just named the best.
Yes.
I love that. That's a mindset, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. It was hard as hell for me to make that adjustment to go from safety to corner.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and try to toot my horn out like I was great or as good as a corner, but I did okay. I held my own. And heck, I guess, I won't say I guess, every corner that I know that's ever played has given up plays for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And I've had my few share. But for the most part, I think when I played big name receivers, I played well. And for some odd reason, you're not a star-studded player, I think I was lulled to sleep at times and, would give up the plays that shouldn't have been given up. So, yeah, when it came to guys that were big name guys, heck, I don't think I gave up 100 yards to any big name receiver. I did well against Terrell Owens. I did well against Chad Johnson. I did well against Randy Moss. I did well against him and Jerry. Now, had some battles with Marvin Harrison, but I don't recall giving up over 100 yards to me individually to Marvin Harrison.
Yeah,
man, another name, right? Just some legends.
And the second time Marvin Harrison's name has been dropped on the show, Quentin Jammer said the same thing. He's like, I always knew it was going to be a tough battle against Marvin Harrison. I'd never really I always wanted the occasion. I liked the challenge, but man, it was one of those things I didn't want to do it, but I was going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a route tree. There's 9 routes that receivers have to run no matter what. You guys pay attention to Travis Kelce, right?
100%.
Yep.
So Travis is the same to me as Marvin was. They run an unorthodox route tree. Their routes don't cut off the same as the next player. They find pockets to get open in. So it's like Peyton and Marvin have a relationship that's different than everybody else is on that team. So it's the same thing with Travis and Pat. So Pat knows where Travis is going to be at, and he's going to find it. And that's the same thing with Marvin and Peyton. Like, Marvin is supposed to run a route that's supposed to cut off at 12 yards and run a post. Mm-hmm. No, he's not going to cut off at 12 yards. If he's not, he's supposed to at least run a go route. Mm-hmm. But they just figure out different routes to run within their scheme. And it's like their backyard playing. Okay, Marvin, I want you to come here to the fence, cut in, I'm going to throw this ball here. And it's not the same. So it's so hard. He's so shifty, too. But he's made a great career of doing that. And he's got a great quarterback to get him the ball, too. So,
yeah. All right. I think we're going to go ahead and transition to the lightning round. So my question for you is this. I mean, the AFC West has had a lot of legendary corners. You think about it, Seawood, Champ Bailey, Quentin Jammer. Was there a particular corner, whether it be in the AFC West or the league in general, that you just really enjoyed watching play, kind of looked up to, was like a mentor for you?
So James Hasty was the guy that I looked up to. So he's the guy that actually taught me how to play the position at corner. I enjoyed watching Revis. I enjoyed watching Woodson. I enjoyed watching Jammer. I enjoyed watching Champ. I enjoyed Patrick Surtain and what's his name? This the other guy inside him, Sam
Madison.
Sam Madison.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those guys together, phenomenal. There's some guys out there that were really, really good that I enjoyed watching. So yeah, for the most part, the names that I just named, Nnamdi Asomugha, he was a good one. Well, Pat Peterson was a good one.
Yep.
Eric Allen was the one with the Raiders. He was great out there. Now I caught the end of Rod Woodson, so I didn't really get to say that, he was one of those that I would mimic. I caught the end of Dion when he moved to Baltimore. He really didn't play when he went there. Chris McAllister was a great one, and he was one that was like me because he was the big corner.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed watching him. Samari Rolle, Dwayne Starks, and we had some guys out there.
Yeah, you're naming a lot of my favorite players just because I'm a defensive guy. I've made that known every show. And so, like, you're name dropping these guys. And I'm like, these are all the dudes that, like, basically are and you are the reason that, like, I just love defense.
Delta O'Neal was good out there.
Ooh,
Delta
O'Neal. I just remember his 4 interception game against us, though. That's all I remember.
Say that again?
I just remember his 4 interception game against us.
Oh, yeah.
So just bad taste on that one.
Yeah, that was tough.
And then even Derek Blaylock had told us that Nnamdi Asomugha basically had the hardest hit on him in his career that he remembers, and he walked us through the screenplay, and Nnamdi just planted him right there on the ground. So
yeah, it was like a misdirection to Dante and then a late screen to Blaylock. Nnamdi read it, and I guess just
shot the gap.
Obliterated him.
And he was saying, like, it wasn't even supposed to be a hard hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what Nnamdi's got to be 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah, he's big corner.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm got 2 questions. I kind of a 2-parter. Just because Kansas City has the best barbecue, kind of just want to ask you what the best post-game meal is for you in Kansas City.
Now, I didn't do much after the game because everybody's too tired. Now, before, I'll give you a weird thing. We'd always pick Ruth Chris was like one of our favorites back then. But now you got all kind of steakhouses that Ruth Chris does. It feels like is it's
like a chain.
Yeah. But Ruth Chris back in those days was one of our high-end places. Now, which is weird, every game, either the equipment guys would get it if it's on the road, or I would get it if it was at home. I would always go to the concession stand and get a hot dog.
Stadium dogs.
At halftime.
Yeah. Can't beat it,
So it's the same thing in golf. You make the turn on at golf, you get a glizzy.
There you go.
hey, sometimes a hot dog and a Coke just hit right.
That's awesome. I didn't see that going there. I love hearing that. Like, I want a good old hot dog from the concession stand. That's awesome. And then one question we like to ask, because it's kind of the reason we like to do this. We always like to ask just, when people hear the name Eric Warfield or talk about you, like what do you want people to remember and say about you?
I don't have an answer for that. What I do know is that I've met some great people in my life outside of the things that I've done with my life, as far as football, as far as the off the field stuff with hell, I can bring that up, the drinking and driving. To doing the charity stuff, the stuff with my mom as being a foster parent and continuing to help out kids, to coaching, going back to the university. I've done a great job of respecting others and trying to support them by any means necessary and whatever I can to do. So I think I don't have a way of explaining who Eric Warfield is. I think it comes best from the people that know him, and I hate to say it that way. But yeah, I'm happy who I am. Yes, I've made some mistakes, heck, I don't even. Again, I know I said it earlier. I didn't even acknowledge myself as a great corner, but I was very appreciative of the opportunity given to me to play and to play for 8-9 years. So, and heck, I've met guys that were way better athletes than me that didn't get that kind of a career. So I'm just thankful that I had it.
Yeah, I think I can speak for all of us when it says you definitely seem just like a genuine person, just a real, not even football player, right? Just a real person doing the best you can. And like you said, respecting others. I mean, you gave us, a little over an hour of your time tonight. You didn't have to. I think that alone shows a little bit of the kind of person you are, being there for your friend when he was going through it. So I think I can speak for all of us when it's, for us, we definitely see you as, you said it's the people who know you, right? Well, we know you for an hour, and I can tell you that you just seem like a real, genuine person, not even talking football, just person. So very respectful, and I appreciate you for that.
I appreciate you guys. And heck, I'm going to send you Rod Smith's number so you can call him and get him on the show.
Hey, there we go.
Hey,
That was
good, because he left. I invited him, and he left me on red.
Yeah.
Really?
If you were to do that as a gift to us, that'd be extremely generous. I mean, that would make my day, and I'm not even a Broncos fan. But I will also say too, as we're gonna close the show, Eric, being able to just spend an hour and a half with you and just getting to chit chat about football, kind of go down a rabbit hole of other things. But it's been a genuine honor getting to talk to you. I hope that you're able to come back. We'll talk a little bit more football during the regular season and share a little bit more. This has been a genuine blast for me, and getting to see athletes beyond football and getting to talk to them on a human level has actually been more fun than kind of talking about football in general, just because you guys are people at the end of the day. And I don't know how many times you guys get asked about how you guys feel about situations or your experience, but we're genuinely thankful that you are willing to, talk to us, and we're just 4 Joe Schmoes from nowhere, and we have a connection, and just it's nice to connect with you and give us your time. So thank you.
Well, I think that, man. Thanks again for having me on. It's been a lot of fun. It's the crazy part is that a lot of the guys that are going through this whole concussion lawsuit, and we're told we can't be doing certain platforms. We can't be on the shows, and man, these shows are great because we get to relive some of those moments that some of these guys, they're losing it up top. And when you get to have a chance to connect with a group that can send us back down memory lanes to give us back those memories of what some of us have forgotten about, man, that puts a smile on the guy's face to hear the the good things that he's done, and to have the support and to deal with all the stuff. But the NFL is making it tough for a lot of them, and I'm pretty sure that if somebody's denying your request to not go on, it's probably because they're probably dealing with a lawsuit. And I hate that they have to go through that. Heck, I had to stop doing the podcast I was doing with a teammate of mine because of the whole lawsuit thing. But now I'm like, screw it. So
All right.
I just want to get out and have fun, and if you guys want to experience it with me, then let's do it.
We're down.
Always.
You let us know. We're there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you call me back during the season after we get a few games under our belts, and we can chat more then.
100%.
Right.
Count us in.
We're gonna take you up on that. Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Eric.
All right, guys, y'all have a good one.
All right. Thank you,
You
Mr.
too.
Warfield.
Yes,
Be well.
sir.
You guys, that was probably the coolest interview that we've gotten to talk to. I know it seems like everyone is the coolest, but genuinely, he is a very special human being. So that was really cool.
Just
absolutely
chills.
love that.
Yeah.
Chills just hearing the stories, with his friend and playing days, and kind of advocating for his fellow players that are going through these concussion lawsuits.
Right.
It's again, we talked about it yesterday and the day before, these are rewarding experiences. We don't just get the athletes on and be like, yeah, cool, we're talking to athletes. To hear their stories and have them share it with 4 strangers and
right.
the viewers, that's the reward right there.
Yeah, I love that each guest we have on, by the end of it, they're way more than the player, right?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, growing up, I remembered him just being awesome on the Chiefs. We're ending this show with me just thinking, like, that dude's just one hell of a person.
Yeah.
And you're right, that's the most rewarding part.
Another Westy bestie, I would say, for sure. Solid.
Oh, yeah.
I think one of the cool things, and what he said actually put things in a lot of perspective that I don't think I even realized even during our time talking, is that this is also just as rewarding for them to even talk about their career. Here we are thinking, oh, they probably talk about it all the time. And then his perspective of like, sometimes it's nice to relive that. It makes us feel good too. That's a really cool dynamic shift for us to just say, maybe they are more okay if we talk to them about what it was like to play, and us as like just fans, not trying to like do anything to harm them, but just like to get to know them. I think hearing that was really rewarding too, of like, getting to talk to them about playing, I think maybe is nice to them too, as much as, them talking to us, we love as much as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think we got a pretty good balance of reflecting their career, but also getting to see the human side. I think that's thoroughly why they enjoy it.
Yeah.
And why we enjoy it. I think we're nailing these. These guests have been awesome, and I can't wait for the guests we have lined up in the future.
How about his Randy Moss impersonation?
Yeah,
that was awesome. Come on, 44! Don't put your hands on me, 44.
I love that.
That was awesome. Great,
guys. What a killer week!
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah.
It flew by, but man, so incredible. What an episode to end on, for real.
Yeah, 3 incredible humans we had on this week, guys.
And then
shout out.
Thank you.
Hope we made you proud.
Now get Rod.
Now, hey,
there it is.
Spoken. I'm trying.
The fans have spoken.
Yeah.
My disappointed dad.
Don't worry, we all have them.
Yeah, we all got one. Well, I guess we don't, but
yeah. But
okay, guys, hold on.
All right.
But seriously, like, guys, like, we're 2.5 months in. Coach Vermeil all the way to Matt Prater to now Eric Warfield and all the guys in between. But again, it's another former Dick Vermeil player who legitimately says the same things that Sylvester Morris and Derek Blaylock kind of confirmed to us. So, I mean, it just goes back to show you that we had a conversation with Coach Vermeil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
We talked to Coach Vermeil.
All roads lead back to Coach Vermeil.
No, it is nice to see it come full circle, though, right? Like, not that I thought Coach Vermeil was lying or any players or anything, but like just to see how he's literally viewed the same by each player we talked to so far. Right. And I think that's honestly rare, because you probably get different perspectives each time you ask someone different.
Yeah.
If I go ask one person how they feel about Cody and ask another person, they might be different. But these players are saying the same exact thing about Coach Vermeil, and I think that's part of what made him special.
Mm-hmm.
And, another Dante Hall reference from another former teammate. Yeah. Like, so now Rod Smith, Dante Hall, guys,
help us out.
You know what? I don't want to pull the friend card on him, but if he can help us out with Tim Brown too, I might just evaporate in this chair.
If we could get a 3-show episode in a week with Dante Hall, Rod Smith,
and Tim Brown,
dude, I don't know what I'm going to do.
We've already made it, but like, if you can get those 3 in a week.
So what you guys are hearing, fans, subscribe to the YouTube.
Yeah, you got to,
so you don't miss out on this stuff, because things are happening, and they're happening fast,
really fast.
Brother Matt's trying to say something. Go ahead.
So there was another name that was dropped, and he's been dropped twice so far, and that's Marvin Harrison.
Yes.
So if we can get Marvin,
I'm not gonna lie. Let's just have a 5-day week where we get receivers.
Right.
Yeah. You know what?
Monday
At this point, yes.
And Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
That's, you know what?
Okay,
let's see if he has the connection to Derek Johnson. That'd be cool.
Oh,
I want to see Austin just absolutely melt. Yeah.
Bro, I'd honestly cry.
Probably.
I would cry. I wouldn't be able to host. I'd probably just stare at him.
Honestly, Corey, we would have to just set up the show to where it's just him and Derek talking, and then we just sit back and watch, and then we'll all right, yeah.
No, not a chance.
No?
Kidding me? No. I'm not gonna. Oh, I mean, if you were to guarantee Matt and I that we'd get Champ Bailey, because then we'd obviously want to do the
I
exact
can't
same
guarantee
thing.
nothing. He
Well, that's what
brought
I'm
us
saying.
Matt Prater, though. So
That's true.
Dude, another great episode last night.
yes,
Yeah, that
just
was
last
awesome.
night. Just last night.
Just last night.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about next week a little bit before we get out of here?
What do we got lined up, Corey?
I think it's another busy week. I think we're
3 shows again.
3 shows again.
We start with good old Alexander Johnson on Tuesday.
Yep.
Broncos linebacker. Follow that day with Eric Coleman, Jets.
Oh, yeah.
And then Thursday, we have a pretty big deal Raiders content creator.
Goat 209 Joshua.
Oh, that's right. Josh with Goat 209. Shout out. That'll be fun.
So another busy week next week. That's why I keep saying subscribe to the show, follow the channels. You don't want to miss out on what we have going on. Because, guys, this is August. We have things in September. We have things in October.
Yeah.
Not trying to, flex, but we just don't want you guys to miss out on these conversations and getting to see these players be humans. It's incredibly special. I'm enjoying it, and I want you guys to be able to enjoy it with us.
And Cody, we're 2 weeks away from David Amerson.
Yes, sir.
Oh my gosh! All right,
Someone should make a top 5 on this.
And we have good friends of our show, Couch Coach Live. So Coach is going to be joining us, and then our buddy Joel and his boys, 3 Guys 6 Balls. That's going to be our first guest in September. So I mean, guys,
don't miss out.
Yeah, definitely.
That much closer to 100.
Definitely subscribe, follow the channels, and also the social media pages. So that way you guys are up to speed. I'm going to tell you guys right now, these 3 gents on the screen have been just fire post after fire post after fire post. So please go follow on the Instagram page, TikTok, Facebook, Threads. Not X right now because for some reason we're on the naughty list. Don't know why, but
I don't get it. But I did something. I got greedy. I posted too much football.
I find that weird, but okay, fine.
We're
The
the
moment we got banned is when I said Geno Smith was greater than Justin Herbert. So I think
that broke the internet.
Somebody got upset and they were like, "Dude, this can't be real." But
yeah, they pushed the cancel button on us.
Matt, you can't say that. But no, we want you to, comment, feedback. If you have ideas, we want to interact with you guys. We don't want to leave you guys behind. We're doing this for you guys. We want you guys to enjoy it. So, interact with us, have feedback, comments, conversations. We're here for it. All right. So get on board with us. We'd love to have you. Because this is a crazy ride we're on.
And who knows, maybe when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll bring a fan on with us to do a show.
Oh, I got a massive giveaway for 1,000 fellas. If you're listening, rally the troops because that giveaway it's massive.
Yes, it is. We know what's gonna be the giveaway. It's epic, y'all. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Matt, you got anything before we get out?
Man, it's just been what a ride.
Yeah, you got to get Rod Smith.
I've been ordered.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna do my okayest.
That's the Matt way.
Right, the Matt way. What a ride, guys! What a way to end the week. This was great. I still got chills. I mean, thank you, guys, Shovix, Cody. Thank you, viewers. Disappointed Dad sponsor.
I will do a proper send off for the sponsors. Don't worry. We will do our okayest.
Make sure you throw in the disappointed dads in there.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we are going to sign off now. Thank you guys so much. We want to give a special shout out to Emporia State Federal Credit Union as sponsors. Thank you so much for your support. Please go and visit their site down below in the description. So that way you guys can be a part of a great organization and a great banking credit union. Please also go and follow and support Field Ops, which is in Kansas. Troy, who's a great partner of ours, his information is down below as well. Please go follow, subscribe, and support their organization, as well as our most prized sponsor. Please, everyone go and check out JBW Solutions, LLC, for all things security, safety, and compliance. They're your go-to hub for all things. Phenomenal partners with us. We've been honored to partner with them, and we hope that you guys go support them because they support what we do, and we cannot do this without them. Phenomenal human beings over there. So please Go support JBW Solutions LLC. Again, all the information is in the description down below. Quick recap, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on socials. We will see you guys on the next episode. See ya.